This movie is excellent. It's nothing short of excellence. And it's probably the best superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm saying that because the first Avengers movie is my favorite superhero movie of all time, or at least it was before I seen all this, even after Infinity War. It's because the time it came out, how I felt, we finally got there, couldn't believe I saw that. I can go into this movie, not my mind blown so much more of what I saw because I saw the first Avengers movie. So it was like my mind was so blown then. But you can't do this movie. You can't do this movie without all the stuff that came before. I mean, they could have made this movie and it just been Infinity War and, you know, or something like that, two-part movie or just one movie. And you weren't introduced to these characters, but they already exist and the history is already there, but we wouldn't feel stuff the way we felt it when certain things happen. I can't say too much because I'm going to do a spoiler review later. But, you know, like, who's going to watch that one, right? But I love this movie. I love this movie. This movie is excellent. And I'm going to keep using the word excellent because that's what we strive for. We can't be perfect. We're all imperfect. But excellence. And this is what this movie was. It is crazy good. I love what they call the slow part of the movie, like the first 2 hours out of this 3-hour movie. It didn't really feel slow. It was fun. It was entertaining. I love the characters interacting, talking. There's a lot of talking and getting to know how people feel and stuff. It's fantastic. There's some surprises, things you would have never guessed they done, things they hid in the trailers. I love how they do that with these trailers nowadays. I love, well, Marvel anyway, they edit stuff out so you don't see what's happening, when and where, and so people won't guess and they can't tell before the scene comes up how it's going to go. But this movie was fantastic. It has so much. It gives you everything you want and more. Literally, I mean, I don't know anybody who wanted, and I'm not saying how you want a story to go. I'm talking about what you will want from a comic book movie. You get all this great comic book stuff. Because comics have different dialogue. They have corny stuff, cool stuff, funny stuff, really, really grounded stuff, sad, dark, lighthearted. They have everything. And this movie has all of that. It has all of that. This movie was great. You get a lot of time with characters who were just side characters who you just get a little bit of time from. Man, this movie was off. It's fantastic. The Russo brothers are magnificent at what they do. The screenwriters who started working on this script for Endgame back in 2015, they did fantastic. This movie does some things that I thought was going to happen. I never really try to speculate, but you can't stop thoughts entering your mind. It did exactly what I thought it was going to happen. It just didn't all go my way because I didn't think everything through and I didn't write everything down, and it was so fun. This movie is unbelievable. It is so fun to watch. I remember saying this in, I think, one of the trailer reactions I did to Endgame, but I felt like this. I might even have said in my Infinity War review. But I remember right before Infinity War came out, I kept saying, oh my gosh, this movie is going to be epic. But I think the better movie and what I really am waiting for is the fourth Avengers movie. Because I was sitting watching Infinity War and I remember just watching it being blown away and saying, this is all cool, but I'm really just anxious for the next movie because I knew it was going to be a continuation. But I just knew that I had a feeling that movie was going to be. Then I can't even explain. But when we saw the leaked photos, on-set photos and stuff, and everybody's like, oh, that looks like the Battle of New York. They're going back in time. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I loved it. This movie's off the hook. First Avengers was my favorite superhero movie. And I think these are tied right now. And the reason why is because when the first Avenger came out, the feeling I had, I could go into this movie in Infinity War and not be as shocked as I was on the first Avengers because we got the first Avengers. And then we got Age of Ultron. Then we got Civil War. We've seen all these characters in movies together interacting with each other. All of them. And it was magnificent. But the first Avenger movie is the first time you really like, oh my gosh. They did a team-up movie. We've seen that before. X-Men. But the thing is, they all had solo films that build up to this. And then characters that was in the first Avengers, like Hawkeye, which only had like a 10 or 15 minute cameo in Thor. But Scarlet Witch, who was in Iron Man 2, a heck of a lot was built up and stuff. Nick Fury at the end of the first Iron Man, you know, it just worked so well and it's so great. It's always going to be in the top 3 of my list, I'm pretty sure. But this movie is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I can't believe what I saw. I'm talking too long. It's a non-spoiler review. I can't even really say too much. I'm going to end it here. But the movie is great. I don't even give ratings to movies. I stopped that a long time ago because everybody has a different thoughts about what it means when you give ratings. But of course, it gets a 10 out of a 10. It gets a 100 out of a 10. Whatever you want to give it. It gets the best. It gets everything. There's nothing wrong with this movie. And if there was something wrong with the movie, the whole movie is so good. It's 3 hours long. And I didn't feel like I was sitting there too long to the point where I was, because the movie keeps changing. It's not one consistent tone. It changes. I mean, it is one consistent feel because it exists in a universe that you know exists, the MCU universe, and it feels like that the whole time through. But the movie was so good. Every character was so good. Excellent. Excellent. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Probably the best movie I've ever seen in my life. My favorite movie is Star Wars. And when I say that, the whole first trilogy, because it's kind of hard to pick. I'll bounce around between Empire Strikes Back and the first Star Wars, but that's my favorite movie. But Infinity War, Age of Ultron, the first Avengers movie, and Endgame is Avengers for me. If I have to pick one, it's going to be Endgame. It's going to be Endgame, and you're going to see why in the spoiler review. And when you see it, if you didn't see it, that's it. Love the movie. It's excellent. See you next time.